Well, if you ever thought about traveling to Mexico and you just weren't sure, but you really need a professional at times to really get you around and let you know where all the local things are and where it's safe to be in Mexico. And joining us now is Will Wagner, and he's with Aztec Tourz. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you.
Mexico is always kind of in the spotlight, obviously our neighbor from the south. And I think it's important, though, that people, when they travel, they're with someone that knows the area. And what I really want to know is, how did you get started in Mexico, and how did you get started with Aztec Tourz?
Well, I was born in Mexico. I'm a native
You don't look like you're born in Mexico.
I was born in the state of Chihuahua.
No kidding.
And then I grew up in Mexico City. Later on in college, I got my bachelor's in Spanish literature and my master's in Spanish literature, and I went ahead and worked in the education field for many years. And what ended up happening, because of my background with Mexico, people kept asking me to take them to Mexico. So I would take groups to Copper Canyon in northern Mexico. I'd take groups to Mexico City in that central area, and I'd take groups to Puerto Vallarta. And the result was so gratifying. When I would take people on trips, they'd say, that was the neatest trip I've been on in my life. And I thought, I'm having so much fun with this, I'll go ahead and put a company together and start taking tours. And so that was sort of why I decided to get going.
So a hobby kind of turned into a profession, and a passion and a love turned into something you really enjoy.
Very much so. And in Mexico, when I hear something fun or interesting, I'll go down and check it out.
Wow.
And so now I've been able to put together really a hobby with a career. And I'm at the point in time in my life where I really don't need to work, but I just enjoy doing this.
What kind of tours are we talking about? Are they, I don't know, what kind of tours are they? Scenic tours? And I know you have a service tour too that we want to talk about, but what kind of tours are they?
Well, we have different types of tours. We have tours that are where you will go and sightsee and have history and culture and whatnot. And then we have ones that are service. We have ones for people that want to invest in properties in Mexico. But basically just have fun. And I think each one of our tours, you're going to have fun. The culinary part, we will have incredible food. And then also we have some tours where we'll custom make it. For example, if we have clubs or groups that say, hey, we want to go to Mexico and we want to do this, and we want to do it within this budget, what can you do for us? Then I will go ahead and custom make a tour for that group or that club, so that they can do exactly what they want at the cost they want to do it at.
Now, when you say you do the tours, will you get them from, say, Orange County Airport to Mexico City, and then you guys get on a bus together and you go to a nice hotel, I would imagine, and then start your tour? Is that how it kind of works for you?
Pretty much, yes. I'm based out of the Chicago area, so we'll have a lot of people going from Illinois, but whether it's from Illinois or California, we will have someone with a group that will go with them from the airport to the airport in Mexico City or Puerto Vallarta. And then we have a bus company that we do business with, and so that bus company will take us we'll be with us every step of the way. So we will have the bus with us for the entire trip. I'm trying to eliminate too much travel and more having fun. And then of course our hotels, we've worked with the hotels down there, and they are incredible hotels.
And that's the key right there. I didn't realize you did this, but you actually have someone there at the airport, so from start to finish, someone is there to get you where you need to be. Because I hate when I got to get there, so you got there, now you're waiting, someone with a sign maybe, and you're hoping that you're in the right place at the right time. But someone is going to be from here to Mexico and back.
Correct. We'll be with people every step of the way. And so the major areas where we're going right now are Chicago area and California area. So when we have groups go out, we'll have someone accompany the group from airport to airport. And then in Mexico, we have local guides that will hook up with us. And so we will be with the group every step of the way to make sure that there aren't any problems and everything goes as smooth as can be.
Yes, absolutely. Is that really what separates you from the other tour companies? You're not just buying a coupon book and getting on a plane?
I think so. I think with many of your other groups, they'll send you and that's it. We will be with you every step of the way. But the other thing I think that will separate us from the other people is we'll do a few fun things that no other group will do. For example, on our Mexico City tour, on that first night, we have a world-class chef that is going to be meeting with the group, explaining the food and the history of the food. On a second night, we have a bus tour looking at the lights of Mexico City, and we'll have a 5-course dinner while we're on the bus. So we have a lot of little things, and our knowledge of the country I think will make us more special than some of the other tours that people take.
Well, what's your favorite part about Mexico?
Wow, there are so many great things, but I think the food. I could go to Mexico just for the food. Mexico City, one of our main areas where we'll be going, I think has the best food in the world. I've been to Paris, I've been to Mexico City, I've been to all the major cities in the world, and no other city has restaurants as good as Mexico City's, in my opinion. And Puerto Vallarta, one of our other areas, again, incredible restaurants, great chefs, and so that will be a real fun part of every trip.
We have a lot of artists in our community, and we have a lot of artistic people that are from the 60s and the 70s. But you're also going to go down to San Miguel, and that's kind of like an art colony to some extent, and that would be a neat tour as well.
Part of our Mexico City tour, we have a 2-day extent. We have a 2-day where we go into San Miguel de Allende, and San Miguel de Allende is a beautiful colonial town. And as you mentioned, in the 40s, it gained a reputation as an artistic community. So many artists have gravitated towards that city, and there are many art galleries. And so people can actually go to art galleries. They can actually take art lessons while they're there. And so we have a lot of fun things. In fact, one of the things that we will do while we're in San Miguel, I have a dance teacher that will teach salsa or merengue classes for those people that want to learn to dance a little bit. So once we know and communicate with people in the group, we will find specific things that they're interested in. For example, if we have a cooking class and they don't like cooking, we will take them golfing instead. So we will try to adapt the tour to a person's taste.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the service tours. I read a little bit about that, and I think that is probably one of the greatest experiences that someone could have with your tour company, when you actually will take you go and see, and you have a great time. You're on vacation. You want to really enjoy yourself. But like you said, you not only want to see Mexico, you want to live Mexico sometimes. And it's kind of nice that you actually take some people to the orphanages and spend the day with the children and kind of just, help them, and see, what they're doing on their day.
That trip really is my favorite because of the satisfaction that you get from helping other people. We work with several different orphanages in Puerto Vallarta area, and Puerto Vallarta is a beautiful area. So what we will do is we will go down to Puerto Vallarta and we will work in an orphanage through the first half of the day. The second of the half of the day, we then have fun. The first day we get there, we have an amazing Race Vallarta, and that is a lot of fun. On another day, we might go zip lining. On another day, we're going to do go to a deserted beach and go to a music activity. But again, we will do it for example, if we're doing a zip lining activity and someone isn't into that physical active thing, we also have another activity that will that our clients can go to and do at the same time.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Let's talk about Mexico safety for one. There's been a lot of news. Obviously, El Chapo just was taken back into custody. We'll see how long he stays in there. But the biggest thing I think with Mexico is people want to make sure they're safe, and let's talk about that, because I know that's an important subject for you and your company.
Certainly safety is the most important thing. And I think Mexico gets a bad reputation sometimes because we hear things in the news. But I'm from Chicago, and there are shootings every weekend in Chicago. They haven't impacted my life because I don't go to those areas at those times. Now Mexico, if you see the areas where we're going, really are safe. The Mexican people love tourists. because tourists are what bring in a lot of the money in the country, and so they really treat tourists well. And so the places that we will go to places that are safe with groups at times that are safe. And it's interesting looking at our local tour guides. They almost become like a little mother hen, making sure we're all right and things go well. But I've been on many trips to Mexico City, to Puerto Vallarta, to the Riviera Maya, and we've never encountered any trouble whatsoever. People have been incredibly friendly. It's been very safe, and we actually have doctors that we can work with that if there's some type of an emergency, where we can get them our clients the medical care they need. But it has been incredibly safe on each time I've gone, and of course that's one thing that we really make sure we work on to make sure.
That's why it's so important that if you go on a trip like this, that you're with a professional. And you actually told me recently too, when we got a chance to talk earlier, you've gone out and you've kind of like, you've interviewed these guides and you've taken these tours with them, and then you went, that's my guy, and then you've worked with them for all these years now. So it's not like you're just calling up somebody and saying, hey, what is that guy doing that week? It's somebody that you've worked with for many years.
That's true. What we've tried to do is choose the best guide for each location. The other thing that I think, and this helps me compared to some, I lived there.
Right.
I lived in Mexico for 21 years, and so there are a lot of local people that I know. In Mexico City, I literally know hundreds of people. It was interesting when Facebook opened up, and I signed up for Facebook. All of a sudden, hundreds of people from Mexico and I became friends again because the technology enabled us to do that. But I think that's one thing that again sets us aside from some of the other groups, is that we have a lot of local connections that help us throughout our trips.
And speaking of connections, just a short flight really from Orange County to Mexico City. I know Southwest is flying there now. My sister's a flight attendant there, and actually was in Mexico City last weekend. Just because she's a flight attendant, if there's an open seat, they can just fly and go wherever they like. So she happened to be in Mexico City Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and loved it. She was in I believe the Reforma area, and just said it was unbelievable. She likes to shop, so she came back with, I think, a couple pairs of shoes and a purse. But that's the place to be, huh?
Well, really, it is an easy trip. From Orange County to Chicago, it takes me 4 hours. You can get to Mexico City much faster than you can get to Chicago.
Absolutely.
And Orange County now has direct flights to Puerto Vallarta. They have direct flights to Mexico City. And so it really has become an easy place to travel. And so yes, Orange County is a great place to start because you can get to all areas of Mexico without much trouble.
Well, before I let you go, what kind of discounts are you offering our community here?
Because we want to get this community involved and going, we're going to be offering a 10% discount for anybody that's interested and wants to sign up prior to March 1st. So those wanting to come, if they sign up prior to March 1st, we'll get that 10% discount, and we'll have the greatest trip of their life.
And be sure and visit their website, aztectourz.com, that's with a Z, or give them a call. That's at 844-533-9513 phone number, or just go on the website, get you all the information. There's contact information too if you have any questions. We have over 250 clubs here in our community. The Hikers Club is very involved, the Boomers Club is really involved. It'd be neat to do a group discount and have some of those clubs, get 25, 30 of the members to travel Mexico, and then especially do that service tour when that's available.
Well, that would be fantastic. In fact, if the groups want to do a specific tour, for example, a hikers group, if they wanted to do a tour through Copper Canyon, we could do a custom-made tour that would be incredible, but we could do that for each of the groups.
Absolutely.
So that would be a lot of fun to be able to work with the groups and let them enjoy Mexico like I have over the years.
It sounds like a great experience. I do encourage you to check out their website, aztectourz.com, or give them a call as well. And especially if you're one of the people that run the groups for the clubs here in our community, I think it's a great opportunity for you to go and see a wonderful experience out in Mexico. Thanks for joining us today on the program.
Well, thank you, Paul. It's been good being with you.
You bet. We'll be back with more of our program right after this.